All right, welcome in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. Greg out today, out the rest of this week, and most of next week. So you're going to have to deal with me for the majority of the next 2 weeks here on the show. Got a good one for you today, though. A lot of college football that we need to get to, some chatter around college football, some new odds that have come out on a certain award that we'll discuss across the course of the show today. Coaches having things to say. There's a lot going on. Chris Lowe of On 3 Sports will be with us at 8 a.m. Dan Hope will talk Ohio State at 9 a.m. Billy Lucci talks A&M at 9:30 today. But I start today's show off asking just where you believe the Alabama football program is. There's actually been a lot of noise around the program here over the last couple of days. Wide receiver Lustier Brooks in a car accident over the weekend. He had photos of himself in the neck brace on his Instagram story. He seems like he's going to be okay. Not going to be a big issue there. Alabama announced Richard Owens as their new tight end coach. He has offensive line coach experience, so that'll be a good hire for them there with a little more emphasis on maybe becoming a more physical team in the run game, be able to add some more there. It's been reported by Matt Zenitz that Arizona Cardinals scout Stephen Wise, Georgia Tech Executive Director of Recruiting Alex Mathis, both going to be on board soon at Alabama. So a lot of news around the Crimson Tide and different things happening, as well as there's a new stepfather on the Alabama football team, and that's Ryan Williams, who is now engaged, or will be in the next few months when he weds his now fiance. So Ryan Williams, one of the most explosive players in college football, is now engaged. So congratulations to him and his fiance. It's exciting. The news that we all needed Don Kleiman to tweet out and share with the world because it's so important.
Wow, from 17 to engaged in just, what, a year and a half?
Hey, man, life comes at you fast. Be prepared for it. Just get ready for it. But I ask you guys, more importantly, 800-239-9569 if you want to be a part of the show. Text in 205-834-9450. You can also tweet in at Mac and Cube to be a part of an interactive conversation I hope we have here over the next couple segments. Where do you believe the Alabama football program stands as of today? Where do you believe the Alabama program is trending as of today? Might I remind you quickly that Alabama went to the college football playoff last year. I will also remind you that Alabama won a college football playoff game on the road last year in a difficult environment against a very talented football team. Now, we can then begin the flip side of that conversation of how they looked in the Rose Bowl against a team that would go on to, I would say, fairly confidently win a national championship. So how you view the season, it's going to differ for some people. But not a lot of teams had a season like Alabama did that probably would have loved to. So where do you view it? Recently on the Joel Klatt show, Joel Klatt gave his opinion on where he believes Alabama stands as a program today.
They have quickly descended into a place that when I think about their conference, I don't think about them initially, and I don't even think about them in the top three. When I think about the SEC, I immediately think of Georgia and Texas. And oh, by the way, Alabama. Alabama is my stock down team. The reality is that they are coming off back-to-back 4-loss years, that the best part of their team last year was Ty Simpson.
Can you start that over for me real quick? Just start from the beginning. I'm a little confused here. Go ahead. Run it again.
They have quickly descended into a place that when I think about their conference, I don't think about them initially, and I don't even think about them in the top three.
Okay.
When I think about the SEC,
hold on.
I immediately
let it go. Not the top three. Not the top three. We have Georgia, Texas, right? Okay. Who's number three?
Is that they are coming off back-to-back 4-loss years, that the best part of their team last year was Ty Simpson, by a wide margin, by the way, and they're losing Ty Simpson. I don't love what's going on down there. They were blown out by Georgia in the SEC championship game. They were blown out by Indiana, and it wasn't just that like, oh, Indiana had a great day. No. Indiana did whatever they wanted to do. They ran the ball 50 times straight at Alabama. This is not the Alabama of 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and certainly not 10 years ago. So they have been trending down. And that trend, I think, is going to continue. They've got to figure out their quarterback for next year. Is it going to be Austin Mack or Keelan Russell? 0 starts between them in an era in which experience is everything that you need at that position. They're losing starters out there. Isaiah Horton, he's gone. Wilkin Formby, the guard, he's gone. I don't see this team turning it around. Like I said, I think about the SEC. I think about Georgia and Texas.
Who was the third team?
He didn't say.
Oh, because I thought they're not in the top 3. But the third team you mentioned was then Alabama. So I was just confused by it. It's a small detail. There are a lot of points that he makes that I think are fair, that I think people would agree with. Some might even celebrate and say, right on. You were handed your rear end by Indiana. Can't deny that. Wouldn't deny that. How'd Oregon fare against Indiana in the playoff? I'm just curious.
They got their rear end handed to them, too.
And when we reference a turnaround, that they're not going to be able to turn it around, a college football playoff berth needs to be turned around? Where are you turning around from? The depth of making the college football playoff? All the points on this team not being where they were 5 years ago. I'm going to ask you a real question right now, college football fans, okay? A real question. Who is where they were 5 years ago? I just honestly, I want to know. Because we're going to keep comparing this Alabama team to, I guess, the Saban peak is what we're going to do. We know that's gone. We know that's not real. We know that a lot of the fan base is unrealistic, and they're going to expect that every year. I don't care if Mike Shule's the coach, if Kalen DeBoer's the coach. It doesn't matter. If Greg McElroy's the coach, they're going to expect it to be peak Saban every year because it's just what they expect. They've expected this with every coach. It's not different. I've lived through a lot of Alabama coaches. I've seen the expectation. It's been the same. Sometimes realistic, sometimes not realistic. But who is what they were 5 years ago? Because you can pound your chest and say Georgia's at the top of the SEC. Do we view Georgia in the same light as we did 5 years ago? I know I don't. I wouldn't carry near the fear of facing Georgia's defense now as I did 5 years ago. Good football team. Great chance to go win a national championship this year. The team that we talked about just did what they did to Alabama. Indiana. Where were they 5 years ago? The actual depths of college football. The actual bottom of the barrel of college football. Why is 5 years ago relevant to now? Why does it matter? Who is still doing what they did 5 years ago? You know who might be closest to 5 years ago than any of these teams we're going to talk about today is Oregon. I feel like Oregon has been on the top third of the mountain, trying to ascend to the peak, trying to get up there and plant their flag, and hadn't been able to do it. On the outside looking in, really good football team, super talented, lacking in certain areas, scary when you play them, maybe could do it, hasn't done it. Oregon might be the exact same or closer to the exact same 5, maybe even 10 years ago than any other team in college football because they've been about that same team every year. Ooh, man, you seen so-and-so? Yeah, but this. Boy, so-and-so can spin it. Just don't let him get under pressure. Boy, they can run the ball on the perimeter. What about 3rd and 2, 4th and 1? Yeah. It ain't a lot different than it's been. So if you want to compare the team if you want to compare like the little engine that almost could, Oregon, great, good. Let them keep being that. But Oregon got blown out in the playoff. Do they need to turn it around? Okay, so now we have a quarterback competition. We're going to now punish every team that doesn't have a transfer starting quarterback? I don't know if I'm on board with that completely. Needless to say, I don't know exactly what Keelan Russell is going to look like. I don't know exactly what Austin Mack was going to look like. But if I'm not mistaken, Austin Mack's been with Kalen DeBoer for 3 years. I feel like he's got a pretty good handle on what the expectation will be. We did see bits and pieces of those two in games. I think it's fair to say they're both talented.
And if you're going back 5 years, how many successful teams were the ones looking at transfer QBs, or most likely it was everyone like, oh no, why are we going to bring in this new guy? This guy's been here for however long.
Quarterback experience is king, right? Auburn. Brought in a guy with experience. How'd that go? I feel like counterpoints are at least warranted here. You can say that the direction of the program is nowhere near what it has been at certain points in time from 2009 to 2021. Anywhere in there. I don't think there were a lot of years in there that we looked at the program trending down. Maybe not as rapidly up, but I don't know about trending down. There are legitimate question marks with the team. I wasn't as high on Alabama going into last year as Greg was. Greg thought they were a playoff team. I thought it was a literal coin flip. They'd be right there knocking on the door looking to maybe get in. Where are they going to be this year? I don't know. But you can't just to me say, well, you didn't get a transfer quarterback, so you're not going to be good. No, a lot of teams that got transfer quarterbacks did. Does Texas have a transfer quarterback coming in? Now, they do have quarterback experience, so it's a little bit of a different conversation. Do we view Texas as sort of the standard in the league right now? One of these standards in the league? Texas can be super talented. I don't think anybody can deny that. It's easy to love the shine, the glitz, all the niceties that Texas is going to have. What about the other stuff? They going to have the other stuff? They got the dudes that you don't want to see on the track. But do they have the dudes that you don't want to see behind the school, after school? I don't know the answer to that. They didn't last year. I've watched some of their portal guys coming in, not blown away. I don't know if that offensive line just gets fixed. I don't know if the tackling consistently gets fixed with Will Muschamp now at D coordinator. I can't say that I know that. 800-239-9569. Your opinion, where is Bama trending right now? How do you view the Alabama program right now? Well, we can even go a step further here. What programs towards the top of college football do you realistically view as trending up? Because for me, it's almost impossible to have this trending up, trending down conversation on an annual basis because things are so different. Let me ask you this. Ohio State, are they trending up or down? It's a serious question.
If we're going to go by this logic, I guess down. Because they had a championship last year. They didn't do that.
Don't have a transfer quarterback coming in.
Got beat by Indiana.
Miami trending up or down? Do you have quarterback transferring in?
No, they do.
A lot of talent.
Honestly, they might be trending up, but they've been projecting upwards. So
We think Darren Mensah is just going to be better than Carson Beck was for him?
Yeah, it's a transfer.
2 NFL offensive linemen gone? 2 NFL defensive linemen gone? That's a lot lost at the same time. Like, we're really going to look at Texas Tech and say automatically trending up just because you got another transfer quarterback. And listen, I think Josh Hoover's going to be really good at Indiana. But you had a kid that just won the Heisman Trophy at quarterback. And a lot of role players that played excellent football throughout the course of the year. Can we seriously sit here and say Indiana trending up? Can you trend up from a national championship undefeated season? Can you? I guess your margin of victory could be greater the next year, and you could trend up again.
But just saying a lot for what they did.
Like, who realistically right now is trending up? Oklahoma? You got a lot of the same stuff coming back, but you had some serious issues last year. Is the run game just going to be repaired? The defense won't be as deep as it was last year, which was one of the big reasons that they were so difficult to handle and manage. A couple of the skill guys that were pretty good are going to be gone. Is Vanderbilt trending up or down? They didn't get a transfer quarterback, but they got a 5-star freshman. Can you trend up from one of the greatest seasons in the history of your program? I can't sit here and tell you. Now, the overall feel of the program feels like Vandy's trending up. But if we're just going to base a program trending up or down on 1 year to the next, wins, losses, how you look on the field, is that kind of where we have to be now? Maybe it is. I don't know. Where is Alabama right now? Good standing, trending down, trending up, flat, even, bad? Of the teams in the college football playoff field last year, if we sort of put them side by side, how would Alabama compare? Maybe that's the way we should have this conversation. Look at this team was in, this team was in, this team was in. Maybe this team was close to being in. We think this team's going to be in next year. How do they compare? Because a lot of what I heard right there was Ty Simpson did 80% of the heavy lifting for that team last year. These coaches have no ability to do anything with who they have coming back next year. So therefore, they're going to fall on their face. And if we're just going to compare teams to what they were 5 to 8 years ago, who else is in that boat if we don't even need to talk about them? Michigan? They don't have the guys that they had 5 years ago. Who else? Florida? Can't talk about them being better. Florida didn't have near the guys they had 5 years ago. It can't be good. They're not there. So it's an odd way, in my opinion, to kind of look at it. And if you want to say you don't think Alabama's going to be as good as they were this upcoming season, fine with that. No problem. Have we completely removed coaching prowess in the portal era? Because I would imagine if you're putting a bunch of new guys together, you got to be a pretty good coach to assemble that and get them to execute and do things on the field together. Or maybe you just need to be Indiana and get a bunch of old guys. And that's what makes you good. I don't know. 800-239-9569. Tweet into the show at Mac and Cube. We'll continue talking Alabama's standing versus the rest of last year's playoff field, as well as Alabama maybe versus some of the teams that we think are going to be good this upcoming season. We also have odds on this upcoming Heisman Trophy winner, some surprise names towards the top of the list, and I think some names that are absolutely buried on this list that could be gigantic favorites for me if you're talking about finding someone with bigger odds to maybe go win this trophy. Flu season here. Make your home healthier with Trane's Clean Effects Home Air Cleaner. Removes up to 99.9% of airborne particles, including those that cause virus. 100 times more effective than standard air filters. 8 times more effective than HEPA room filters. Find a dealer near you at Trane.com. It's hard to stop a train. Back with more conversation on Alabama football's standing in the SEC nationally next, right here on Jocks. Welcome back in, McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. It is Wednesday, February 18th, right here on Jocks. Chris Lowe coming up at 8 a.m. He's had his pulse on the Alabama program for a while. He understands it, feels it, knows it. Might not have as good a relationship with the current head coach as he did the prior, but we'll get his thoughts on it as well. Just kind of where is Alabama? And if you missed the first portion of the show, we're discussing kind of where Alabama's standing is in today's college football. But I ask you a serious question, 800-239-9569. Because based on Joel Klatt's quote, we're comparing the trend, or we're setting the trend based on what happened last year. That was the way the majority of it sounded, correct? So if we're doing that, I ask you honestly, who is trending up right now in college football? Like, do we automatically think Georgia's going to be a better football team than last year? Like, Monroe Freeling is gone. A couple of your wide receivers are gone. You got a couple other guys in that front seven that are going to be gone. We just think they're going to be better? Like, yeah, Gunnar Stockton, great. Nate Frazier, great. Right. KJ Bolden, great. Like, it could be really good. But I don't think it's an automatic. Oh, they're trending up. Yes, better. Part of that is they had a really good year last year. Mm-hmm. Do we think Ole Miss is trending up with a head coach that's coached 2 games, 3 games? Now, I know you got 2 playoff wins. It's impressive. Right. Yes. But once again, you did a great job replacing talent gone from defense the prior year. That's happening again. Mm-hmm. We just better?
Are any of the playoff teams trending up?
I can't view Texas A&M as trending up. We'll have Billy Lucci at 9:30. We'll ask him honestly. Here's the thing. We used to, pre-portal era, we had this conversation holistically about the entire program, right? Mm-hmm. Now, it almost feels like we're being forced to have this conversation annually from year to year. So it feels like we've removed the facilities, the recruiting on an annual basis, as far the development of players is not going to be a part of it. Like, go look at Mario Cristobal and that Miami team. There's a lot of guys they brought in as freshmen and have made them really good football players the last few years. So development there, still a real part of that program.
Yeah.
Now, hard to say the Cignetti development part, but if he brought guys from JMU that he had for 2 or 3 years there, and they were good players for him until the last 2 years in Indiana, I would still say that counts as far as your development goes.
Well, we got to see who the oldest team in college football is. Because that's why they said Indiana was so great, because they were older. So we got to look and see roster by roster who's the oldest team, and they're already trending.
It's going to be a part of it. I guess Utah State will have an advantage. They just got a 9th-year linebacker.
Yeah.
They'll be in the mix.
I feel like BYU should always be a contender with the missions and everything.
It's amazing how that hasn't worked for them.
Yeah.
If old is good.
Old is good.
It just feels like that'd be a massive advantage. Like, honestly, Ohio State better? Like, you're losing an elite off-the-ball linebacker. You're losing an elite pass rusher.
Right.
Your offensive line disappointed throughout the course of the year last year. You're losing a counter weapon to maybe the best wide receiver in college football that at least helped him find some matchups. You had a transfer tight end come in and help you that's also going to be gone. Like, I can't just – by the way, maybe not from – how do I say this? Maybe the most impactful player – when not actually making plays in college football last year in Caleb Downs. Like, someone who allowed you to do so many things, could line up so many places, caused so much confusion and commotion as to what he was, where he was, and then also made a lot of plays. By the way, he's gone.
Yep.
But we're going to say they're just trending up?
They got Arthur Smith as offensive coordinator.
Noted.
Yeah.
If this is the game that we're playing, then who realistically is trending up right now? Like, we just think Notre Dame with C.J. Carr is just that much better?
Well, their schedule helps.
Okay.
A ton.
Part of it?
Yeah.
So who else is there? If we go to last year's playoff team, is Indiana trending up? Now, I think 5 years ago, math, absolutely.
Oh, 100%. You're getting that return on it.
Last year to this year, math, I don't think Josh Hoover's just going to automatically be better than Fernando Mendoza.
Heisman Trophy winner. 16-0.
Who's your Riley Nowakowski this year that's going to be your hard hat, dirty work guy that's going to do all the stuff nobody else wants to do, line up different places? Do you have that guy?
No.
Darian Mensah going to manage things better than Carson Beck did. Who's the next Reuben Bain that you're just replacing?
Right.
Malinoga at right tackle. Who's the guy? Markel Bell at left tackle. They just have those guys just waiting? Which, by the way, if they do, that means they developed them and they're ready. And we don't count that. That's not a part of what we're saying here.
It's not part of the algorithm.
Do we view Ole Miss right now as trending up?
Trending up? No.
Up from winning 2 playoff games last year.
No.
Trinidad's great, man. Like, and if it stays to where he's back, having Kejuan Lacey is going to be massive for him. But there are a couple. I know tight end not going to be as good as it was last year. There are a couple guys that are going to be gone weaponry on that offense. Mm-hmm. Defense got a lot to replace. It's still kind of a first-year head coach, which we love Pete, but we don't know. Those things just throw into the mix to say it's hard to say trending up from 13-2. Because that's why Alabama's not trending up, because they're not going to be as good as last year.
Lord have mercy.
Georgia was 12-2 last year. They're trending up from that.
From SEC championship.
Back-to-back SEC championships.
I'll ask you this. Is Texas Tech trending up?
How much did they spend this year?
A lot. Probably not as much as last year. And I don't think their portal haul was as good as last year's. And they far exceeded my expectations last year. I thought they were going to be good. I didn't think they were going to be great. And actually, I don't like doing this on the show very often, but Damien, what did I say about Texas Tech going into the playoff?
Fool's gold. Fool's gold.
Maybe they trend up to just being gold this year.
Like actual gold.
Acceptable gold.
Like, you can't say A&M trending up, can you? Like, Casey Concepcion's gone.
Facts.
Couple offensive linemen gone. Couple guys on that front 7 gone.
Has Marcel Reed reached his ceiling?
Major pieces of why they were a good team are going to be gone. I think Elko's great. But 11-2 trending up, a home playoff game? Like, better than that? Texas was 10-3 last year. We know how it started offensively. We think they're trending up.
They got Cam Coleman.
They have a good portal class. I am beginning to think, though, that I think Texas has some real help coming in the portal. I'm just going to ask this question without trying to answer it first, or maybe give my answer first. Are we overstating the Texas transfer haul just a little bit?
The names look great, but when you look at what they've done at their previous stops, specifically Cam Coleman, like, is he genuinely better than what you've seen the past couple seasons at receiver? Like, Golden was just drafted in the first round this past year, and I don't think he's better than what Marcus Golden was. And Livingstone, I mean, he's gone. So, like, I think name-wise, they hold a lot of weight.
If you want to go name-wise of guys in the portal, C.J. Baxter's out. Right. DeAndre Moore is out. Like, there's some guys that are also gone off that roster that have played a lot of football for them. Like Nick Brooks, who played offensive line for them, is going to Alabama. Running back Christian Clark's going to South Carolina. There's some guys that have helped them win some games, maybe not to the fullest extent just last year, that are going to be gone from that roster as well. So, now, Hollywood Smothers, good player, going to help a lot. Going to be big. Parker Livingstone made some plays for them last year.
He's going to Oklahoma.
He'll be playing in their biggest rivalry game, or second biggest rivalry game. So, and that goes back to, once again, I keep bringing this up this offseason, the Indiana model, and why more people are not at least saying, I got to do some of that. Because when you say that everything's going to be better, or Texas is automatically trending up because you went and got Raleek Brown at running back from Arizona State, whatever, and you discount the guys that have been in your program for 3 or 4 years that are leaving, I think that's a big hit. Whether or not they were going to come rush for 1,500 yards or not, you're still losing some continuity. You're still losing some potential leadership, even if they hadn't figured it out yet. And you're just bringing in guys that you don't know what that's going to be inside your facility. So even with, who else are we looking at as major movers for Texas? MJ Morris, Coastal Carolina quarterback?
Nice depth piece.
I will say I've watched the Sterling Burkhalter kid from Wake Forest. He's a big target that's going to give them a red zone threat. He's a nice player. He's not a game changer. The Lawrence Seymour, guard from Western Kentucky, I've watched him. He's fine. He's a really good puller. he ain't moving a lot of SEC D tackles. He's just not. It's not what he is. He plays hard. He's got great athletic ability at 315, 320, but he's not David DeCastro. I mean, he's not picking guys up and moving them out of the hole.
Yeah.
It's not what he is. So, like, how many attitude changers did Texas bring in? How many attitude adjusters did Texas bring in? I don't
know.
It's hard for us to know the answer, but I don't just look at it and say, well, 4 or 5. Hollywood Smothers sounds like he has kind of all of it, similar to the way Concepcion did going to A&M last year. We know what Cam Coleman is. We also know what Cam Coleman isn't. And I don't think he's a guy that's going to be holding a lot of other people accountable in the facility a lot of the time. Mm-hmm. So, once again, we look at this and just say, upgrade?
Right.
10-3. Okay.
And what's to say Arch doesn't start off slow again?
I think Arch's going to have a good year. I think it's fair to say Arch's one of the best quarterbacks in college football. But it wasn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination. But we just look at Texas. Oh, they're trending up. It's going to be better than it was a year ago. I personally can't see it that way and need some questions answered before I just automatically say, yes, Texas trending up. Like, you know who's trending up? LSU.
100%.
LSU's trending up. If we want to talk about teams trending up. You know who's probably trending up? Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know they got a quarterback that's actually going to let go of the football.
Stop.
In a good way.
Do they not?
Stop. But he is.
He will throw the ball.
He will let go.
I have it on tape. Have seen the tape.
Can confirm.
Byron Brown will throw ball.
It's getting out of his hands.
But back to Texas, I know DJ Campbell played good snaps for him last year. Jack Indries played good snaps for him last year. They're going to be gone. Defensively, like we talk about those glue guys, you don't think Michael Taft, Ethan Burke were those guys on defense?
100%.
I mean, Michael Taft, an Austin kid.
Yep.
In the backfield. Ethan Burke, his entire career at Texas. Anthony Hill Jr., maybe the best off-the-ball linebacker in college football last 2 years. No big deal. Just
plug and play. We'll find somebody.
Trey Moore, on and off the ball. Versatility last year. Added a lot of that. Allowed you to do some different things when you had some guys dinged up. Like, don't get me wrong. Colin Simmons is probably going to have a huge year for Texas. Should. He's sitting there kind of waiting on it. But you lost a lot of pieces of what helped them go win football games and play good football at different points in time, specifically on defense, and a new defensive coordinator coming in. That I'll just listen. I love Will, but has he sort of moved into the new age of college football? Because this whole, like, we have a perfect answer for everything we're going to see, and we move with every bit of movement and all the shifts and motions, like we have to adjust to according. That doesn't work anymore. You can't do that stuff now. So we'll see. But it goes back to my question of who honestly do you look at right now and say, oh, I will stand up at the podium and they are trending up in college football? Because the teams that were pretty good last year, those are the harder ones to decide if you think they're trending up or not. Because we know, we who talk about college football every day know how hard it is to go win 10, 11 games every year. It's not an automatic anymore like it used to be, which is hilarious to compare a team to 5 years ago when we know you can't do the things you were doing 5 years ago. It doesn't work that way anymore. How many teams, you know what? During the break, I'm going to find it. How many teams do we think were in the preseason top 10?
5 years ago?
This year, going into the season, that not only didn't finish there, but finished outside the top 20. But we're going to talk about where teams are trending, and we know. We'll do that next on Jocks. All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. No McElroy today. 800-239-9569 if you want to get in. 800-239-WJOX. So I guess the conversation here will turn into who is trending up. Like, can you find teams that are realistically trending up in college football? Because of where we are with the portal, and maybe after this new limited portal window era starts and we get a year or two into that, we have a better feel on who's going to be better, who's going to be worse. 7:39 Wednesday, February 18th, right here on Jocks. Listen online, jocksfm.com. The app is in your app store, iPhone, Android. Download that for free. Watch us live on YouTube. Search Jocks945. Here is your preseason AP top 25. Number 1, Texas. We just referenced that Texas finished 10-3. So would you say that Texas technically disappointed last year?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So from the beginning of the season to the end of the season, it would be fair to say Texas trended down?
Mm-hmm.
Very much so, yes.
Oh.
They had championship expectations, or at least that's the way it felt like. Heck, if you're preseason number 1.
Yeah.
With championship expectations probably becomes, fair to say, playoff expectations?
Right. You would at least have made the...
How many of those the games did they play last year?
0.
1, 2. That'd be 0.
0.
Noted.
Yeah.
So, but they're trending
Yeah.
up.
They spent a lot of money in the portal.
Hold on, they're in the same spot they were last year. They knew their quarterback was going to be last year.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't get a portal guy. Got a couple talented players from the portal last year.
They did.
Lost some talented players last year.
They did.
Remember when we talked about some of the glue guys that they lost, like Jake Majors?
Yeah.
And Gunnar Helm?
Yeah.
But those guys don't need those guys. Just go get the super talent guys, and then you're good. Number 2 is Penn State.
That's a trend all the way down.
Now, remember, the genesis of this conversation is, do we really know where teams are in this age of college football?
Not at all.
Drew Aller coming back, established head coach, talent around him. Like, it was
running
all
backs,
there.
Running backs galore.
I mean, like,
Run for 2,000.
like mid-2000s Auburn running back stable.
Yeah, just line them up.
Okay. That didn't work.
At all.
And I don't even know if I can say trending up, and I love Matt Campbell. I think Rocco Beck's great. I'm glad he brought a lot of his team with him, but do we maybe trending up from last year?
For sure.
But they were also preseason number 2 last year. So, 3 Ohio State.
As advertised.
I wouldn't say they were trending up.
It's hard to say that.
Yeah.
When you lose one of the most impactful players in college football, amongst other guys that gave you production, hard to just automatically say, better. Number 4 was Clemson. Now, maybe part of this is accurate. You know what Clemson's problem was last year? They didn't bring in a transfer quarterback.
Yeah.
No.
That's okay.
No.
I'll give you that one, Klatt.
Same thing with Penn State. So what we're learning today is fire your returning starting quarterback. Number 5 was Georgia. Didn't bring in a transfer quarterback either.
Nope. Homegrown guy.
Number 6 was Notre Dame. Number 7 was Oregon. Number 8 was Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9, LSU.
Oh, whoops.
You remember how people were pounding the table for LSU in the playoff last year?
Yeah.
Harold Perkins, Garrett Nussmeier.
Yeah.
Aggressive defense.
It was supposed to work. It didn't.
No. Number 10 was Miami.
Okay, yeah, we'll get that.
They turned it up.
Yeah.
Here's a good one, because remember some of the leftover hype from the previous year going into last year. Number 11 was Arizona State.
It went downhill quick.
Jeff Lebby screwed that one up.
Are they trending up?
No.
It's almost impossible to say
Doesn't
that.
feel like it.
No.
I don't know if I can say that they're trending up because they just had, I believe, the second 9-win season in program history, and that would be Illinois at 12. But I don't view them as really trending down per se.
No.
Right.
But are you just automatically going to be better than what you were with a historically good season last year? But they do have transfer quarterback coming in. Luke Altmaier out, so maybe they have the formula. Here's one that may actually fall into the category that has been brought up today of trending up. Number 13, no, not from the beginning of last year.
No,
I don't think we're going to have them here.
Starting now.
Number 13 last year was South Carolina.
Yeah.
Now, if we leave the Clemson game and start that conversation now, which is also problematic because we've referenced 5 years ago multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
South Carolina trending up. I think the fact that you just got Lenore Sellers and Dylan Stewart back has to be trending up from where you were.
It's got to be.
Now, I think Kendall Browse is a great play caller, I think he'll be able to do some really cool things with Lenore Sellers, but you need to block a guy. Just give me a couple guys blocked a game, or else no. Number 14, Michigan.
Well,
A lot
Starting
of
now?
a lot of trends there.
Yeah.
yeah, right.
Let's start about 2 months ago.
Okay. Yeah. Then yes.
Yeah,
From
yes,
then,
trending way up.
absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
A lot of things in their favor. You were able to keep Bryce Underwood. He looks like he has a ton of talent. You've severely upgraded the head coach. So I'd say Michigan right now. But here's the thing. If we're, again, this is why this is hard now. If we're going back to the holistic conversation that we used to have, all the turmoil, all the scandal around that program, we're sitting there saying trending up.
Right.
You're trending up from a pretty rough place.
Right.
So
And that's with a national title in the mix.
Florida 15. Here's another hard part, Damien. I don't think I know where you're going. When we used to say trending up, I think our brains had like a 5-year, 3-year plan in there.
Right.
Like, oh, yeah, they're trending up. Like the old us would say Florida trending up. Like year 1, hall pass. Year 2, going to be good. Summer, going to get that thing right. Get him 2-3 recruiting classes, couple portal guys, his system's in, they'll be rolling. Now it feels like we have to have this conversation of,
Immediately.
is Florida trending up? I don't know if they're going to win 10 this year, so we can't really say that. It's not fair. We're not allowed to do that.
Patience is gone.
Oh, 100%.
This gets really fun next. Well, not with the next, but the next few. SMU 16, Kansas State 17. That,
I mean, Colin Klein.
but not true. You remember Ireland?
Yeah.
That was a team that was going to play for a playoff spot.
That is true.
You do have your quarterback returning, which we've also been told that might not be great. Then 18 Oklahoma, 19 A&M, 20 Indiana, 21 Ole Miss.
Wow.
22 Iowa State, 23 Texas Tech, 24 Tennessee, 25 Boise.
Well, USF broke Boise.
I'm just
They shut that down. They broke
I'm just
them.
here to tell you these are the teams that were not ranked going into the season last year. BYU, USC, Georgia Tech, Missouri, all not ranked. UNLV not ranked.
Well,
And I know we look at UNLV and say they didn't go to the playoff. They had a really good year last year.
They did.
and they had Jackson Arnold this year.
If there's a guy that can get it sort of right, that guy can get it sort of right.
You feel confident.
But he still got Alex Orji to let go of the football. So you got to let go of the
let
ball.
it go.
But you know what? He has a lot of quarterback runs, so maybe you don't.
True. He had success with QB runs.
All right, so we continue this conversation. 800-239-9569. Tweet in at Mac and Cube. More on this next right here on Jocks. All right, we'll get to your feedback on this topic. Chris Lowe will discuss it with us at 8 a.m. Dan Hope talks Ohio State at 9. I'll be interested to hear from him. Realistically, trending up or down? I would kind of view Ohio State as somewhat flat right now. And that's by the way, that's not bad. I don't put negative connotation on that at all. Because I think if you're flat right now, it's actually not a terrible place to be. Because it's hard with the guys you're going to lose, both to the NFL, just leaving football maybe, getting kicked off the team, transfer portal, to just say, oh yeah, better, for sure better. It's tough. It's also tough to get that weight off from the holidays. If you need help doing it, Game Day Men's Health can help you today. Go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Just sign up for the free consultation. It's that easy. With that, free PSA test, free testosterone test. They're going to tell you where you are, where your health is. They'll get you that baseline health and then say, here are the programs that we have in front of you. We can put a peptide together for you. We got a weight loss program, testosterone replacement. And Game Day Men's Health is going to do all those things for you, and they're not going to stress you. They're not going to try to press you into things that you don't need. And by the way, any of those programs they offer, you can save 10% on those by mentioning Mac and Cube and you walk in the front door. Great people, great service, minimal upfront cost from the programs they offer at Game Day Men's Health. Just go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com today and sign up for that free consultation, now open in Trustville. All right, a couple folks chiming in via Twitter, at Mac and Cube. Brandon tweets in, apart from the clickbait, a deep analysis indicates that Alabama is closer than most schools in 2026. Now, there are some knowns, unknowns, but every program has those as well. So I agree. I mean, next hour, we'll go into Alabama of, all right, let's flip this around. What should you like about them? What are some of the real concerns? There are both. I think there are real reasons to say these are why Alabama may not be in the playoff next year. And a lot of that's this coin flip of what is he going to end up being?
Yep.
If this guy ends up being this, probably be really good. If this guy ends up being that, I don't know. Tanner, if Bama can fix its O-line run game, develop one of these talented quarterbacks, Bama's a top-tier playoff team.
I think it's fair.
Okay.
They're in the discussion.
Going back to one of the things that was brought up in the clip that we played from Joel Klatt, Alabama beat Georgia last year, right?
They did.
I remember. I saw it.
Regular season.
But they can't be mentioned in the top 3 teams in the league. Did they also beat them in Athens?
They did.
For the second straight year. Not in Athens, but beat them twice in a row. Yeah.
Frank tweets in, when is Ryan Grubb going to get off his high horse and run the ball? Because that was it. That was it. Ryan Grubb was walking around the facility with his chest puffed out saying, watch me throw. What are we doing?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to pull up these numbers real quick. Alabama rush attempts last year, 466.
Seems like a lot.
Hey, let's break that down. 15, 20, 30 design runs, 30 quarterback scrambles, still over 400 runs on the season. How many pass attempts do you think they had?
I'm going to say 348.
You're way off. 523.
523.
But 466 to 523, a couple gadget passes in there. So that's pretty close to balance where you want to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or are you saying you don't want to be balanced?
Well, you think those rush attempts are bad? Look at LSU's.
They
chose not to run. They actually chose not to run the football, though. My fault.
Now you're talking about just different galaxies that are out there, like some black hole that we've seen through the Hubble telescope. Like that's out there in a faraway land that we'll never really even know exists.
Like a call to run.
By comparison, Auburn ran 454 times.
I don't think last year's Auburn offense should be compared to anything, really and truly. But that's just my opinion on it.
For someone that couldn't let go of the ball, that's why they ran so much.
That's why they ran so much.
They had to.
Here are your rush attempts in the SEC last year. Georgia, 580. Ole Miss, 576. Missouri, 558. Mississippi State, 549. That's probably the bigger surprise for me.
Wow.
They also ran a lot more plays.
True.
And that's the other thing you'd have to look at. This is what are the amount of plays run. A&M, 498. Tennessee, 496. Alabama, 466. But I would be willing to bet the people with that brain walking around if I said, so you want to run Mississippi State's offense? Would you like to run the ball the way Tennessee does? So you want to run like Ole Miss? Most would say, no. But now, if you ask some Georgia, Missouri, probably A&M.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. By the way, Auburn, like John said, just behind Alabama. LSU, by the way, 378 rush attempts last year.
There we go.
Holy
All
moly.
right.
There you go.
Georgia about doubled them up in rush attempts. So I don't think that was, if you watch it, there were plenty of tries in the run game.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
And don't think it was the play calls that necessarily did not allow them to go. Mark Ingram tweets in, Alabama did nothing to get better immediately. Their big additions are unknowns with little playing time. Right now, can't point to a single position group that will be improved from last year. DeBoer is going with potential over proven. We shall see how it plays out. I think parts of that are fair. Parts of that are fair. Would you say that also, though, if you're playing the potential over proven game, sometimes can be better?
Uh-huh.
How many question marks do we have on every team every year? If the potential is reached by the teams that are more talented, they can be scarier when it's all said and done.
Yeah. Also, you're returning Bray Hubbard, Keon Sabb, Deshaun Lee. Like they're
Yeah, but they didn't go get guys that are better than them, is what he's saying, Damian. Where'd they get better?
I'm not sure.
But again, it actually ends up accidentally being a good point as to we are in this era of our mindset has to be, if we didn't go get a guy who is immediately better than everything else we have on our roster right now at that position,
We're cooked. We're cooked.
why are we even here? Why are we here?
And
So-
what are your expectations?
Next hour, we'll have this conversation. What positions do we think may be better for Alabama this upcoming season? Because we all thought the offensive line was going to be better, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't. We thought Auburn's was going to be better too. Back with Chris Lowe next.